Folks, more and more offer nights are failing and it's causing headaches for sellers. I'll talk about that and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending June 21, 2023. So over the last 4 or 5 days, I've probably, with buyer clients, visited about 20 houses or so. About half of those previously had an offer night, it failed, and now they're relisted at a different price. And when I explain this to my buyer clients and say, hey, last week, this house that we're seeing now, last week they had an offer night, it didn't work. Now they're at a new price. That new price is almost always higher than the offer night price. The crazy part is that my clients, the buyers, they get excited about that. If there's an offer night, they're not so excited. They're like, oh, what do they want? What are the seller's expectations? How much higher are they expecting, higher than list price? But when they've relisted, they list at a higher price. But it's the same feeling as a price reduction. My buyer clients are thinking, oh, look at that. Offer night didn't work. Even though the price is higher, they're excited about it in many times. And they're thinking, what happened? Is the seller desperate? They automatically think nobody showed up on offer night. They don't think, which is sometimes the case, that there were lots of offers. It's just the seller's expectations were higher and they turned down all the offer. The buyer never thinks that. They just think it didn't sell. Nobody paid enough to buy the house. Nobody showed up on offer night. So the buyers feel that there's a desperation in the seller. And you got to really, really consider, if you're a seller, really consider if an offer night makes sense. The market is shifting. It's seasonal, first of all, and interest rates are higher. That's adding to it. Affordability is lower. We're seeing more and more offer nights failing. And I'm always asking myself, why? Sometimes the price that they even have it out at on offer night makes no sense. So is it the seller that this is what they wanted? Is it the realtor, the listing agent, convincing the seller this is the best thing? Because more and more are failing and it hurts the seller. Is the agent inexperienced, or are they not able to figure out really what should this house sell at? So yeah, let's list it low, we'll see what happens. And then imagine, let's say 3 or 4 offers come in. You know how much pressure there is on the seller then to look and say, well, wow, I got 3 or 4 offers. It's not what I expected, but maybe this is the most I can get. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but without an experienced realtor helping you with this, some sellers are just not going to know. Without the proper marketing, you're not going to know. And many agents will default to this because it's simple, it's quick, it's fast. Maybe that realtor hasn't had a transaction in a while and this is a way to get a quick sale. But I'm telling you, from a buyer's perspective, they smell blood in the water if offer night fails. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to talk to me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers. If you're looking for a newly built, luxurious, multi-family home in Etobicoke, check out the video at the end of this video. Let's get into the numbers. I have average sold prices for condos, semis in towns, and detached. Semis in towns multiple times have had prices very, very similar. Towns sometimes having an average sold price higher than semis. Okay, so we're going to start off with detached. I have prices and data broken down per week for a whole year. 185 detached properties were sold for week ending June 21. 185 is pretty similar to what we've been selling for the last 3 weeks. the amount of property selling at $2 million or more has been coming down, sitting at 42 for this week. And average sold price has come way down to $1,730,000. If we look back a little bit, for a good part or most of this year, average sold prices have been going up, but sometime the end of May, things have turned and the market is getting softer and prices are coming down. So sometime the end of May, we were going up before that, and now prices are coming down. If we look back and compare to our low point, which was July 2022 last year, we're 14% higher, $212,000 higher than the low point last year of July 2022. Compared to last year, $1,730,000 is 2% higher than where we were the same week a year ago. Median price is 6% higher than where we were a year ago. Now, if we look at the dotted line, which is a 4-week moving average, we were going up, and sometime at the end of May, average price is coming down, median price is trending down. That's where we are right now. Could be seasonal because we see July and August, the last few years have been very much softer. August has always been a bit of a softer month, and where prices kind of come down a bit, less activity, but we've been seeing July and August really starting to come down over the last few years. Property selling at list price or more is sitting at 64%, which is down from where it's been the last few weeks. Listings, 401 were listings. Here's a trend though that we really need to keep an eye on. Active listings, week after week after week, has been trending up. If we go back, sales has been kind of up and down, but active listing, the amount of properties available for sale, has been trending up. And if we go back to what I was speaking of earlier in this video, when we talk about bidding wars and multiple offers and offer nights, well, it's a lot of buyers these days thinking this property has an offer night because we've got more choices now on listings. This property doesn't have an offer night. Buyers would rather deal with that one than the one an offer night, and are sitting back and saying, offer night, okay, let's see what happens. They're prepared to wait because they're confident they're going to see more listings coming out. Months of inventory has been increasing. We're now sitting at 1.6 months of inventory. And as months of inventory increase, average sold price tends to come down. Here's a summary of some of the different areas of Toronto. We can see here, Scarborough, 66% of the property selling at list price or more. It's normally much higher in Scarborough. East York, the Beaches area, 87% of the property selling at list price or more. Rexdale, Downsview, 71% of the property selling at list price or more. So lots of neighborhoods still very competitive. Months of inventory, well, for all of Toronto, months of inventory is 1.6. Scarborough, it's 1. East York, it's 1 month of inventory. Etobicoke, 1.4. Rexdale, Downsview, 1.2 months of inventory. It's lots of areas that are way busier than other parts and far more competitive. Here's a quick look at semis. 70 semi-detached properties were sold. 23 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price has come down a bit from the previous week to $1,455,000. 1455 is 15% higher, excuse me, 15% higher than where we were a year ago. Median price is 9% higher than where we were a year ago. And looking at the dotted line, both median and average price have been trending up. The last little while, the last couple weeks, maybe a bit more flat, but still kind of seems like prices for semis are trending up. Months of inventory extremely low, sitting at 0.8 months of inventory. More than 3/4, 76% of all semi-detaches sold at list price or more. Very competitive market. Townhouses, 20 were sold. These are freehold townhouses. 20 were sold. 8 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price way up at $1,456,000. I've circled a bunch of them. That seems to be the top, the ceiling so far this year anyways, of where townhouses, the high end of average sold price. We've been there a few times this year already. 1,456 is really the same as it was a year ago at this time. Median price is about 2% lower than where we were this time when we're talking about townhouses. And because of the high peaks and valleys, it's tough sometimes to predict or to understand the prices of townhouses here. But looking at the dotted line, kind of looks a bit flat to me, to be honest. It does go up and down, but prices have been quite steady for a while now. Months of inventory is increasing, sitting at 1.3 months of inventory, and 75% of freehold towns sold at list price or more. Now, there were only 20 that were sold, but 3/4 of them sold at list price or more. Here's condos. 283 condos were sold, which is up quite a bit from the previous week. 33 of those were at $1 million or more. And the average sold price is up from the previous week, now sitting at $786,000. Compared to the low point, which was August last year, we're up 7% from our lowest point last year, which is about $48,000. Compared to last year, $786,000 is 4% lower than where we were for the same week a year ago, and median price is 1% higher than where we were this time last year. Looking at the dotted line, median price has been trending up slowly. Average price since the beginning of May has been quite flat, actually. Of the 283 that sold, less than half, 46% sold at list price or more. 789 were listed. Look at months of inventory. It's just jumping up. At the end of April, we were sitting a little over 2,000 active listings. Now we're at 2,800 active listings. That's climbing. More choices for buyers means less competition. Sorry, more competition among sellers. Buyers have more choices. More choices means prices will tend to come down. Months of inventory, although it's down from the previous week, it has been trending up, now sitting at 2.3 months of inventory. We're approaching a balanced market as we start getting closer to the 3 months of inventory. And that helps to explain why prices have been, although on a weekly basis they're up and down, for condos they've been kind of flat over the last couple months, and that's because we're approaching the balanced market. Here's a quick summary. Look, semis and towns is still quite low. Detached is starting to go up. Condos are getting closer to a balanced market. Many times we could say, oh, this is seasonal, it's what we expect, and that would be correct. But the interest rate also has something to do with it, and now there's talk, and maybe it's going to go up again. We're not certain there, but all this adds to more choices, more sellers thinking maybe we should get out there and sell. Buyers having choices, kind of pausing a little bit, sometimes looking, not being so aggressive that I got to buy now. They're like, they got an offer night, let's wait and see what happens. Maybe we look for this house. And there's a lot of uncertainty right now. It's so important to work with somebody that could really help you navigate, help you make good choices. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Before you see the inside of this home, let me tell you why it's so special. It's a large home, 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has 9-foot and 10-foot ceilings. Each individual room has its own climate control. All those are great features to have and only come in custom-built homes. But the thing that really stands out is that this home was designed from the very beginning as a triplex. So because of that, possibilities are numerous. This home would easily suit a multi-generational family where each family can have its own private living quarters. It would easily suit a family living in the principal residence or in the principal unit and renting out the other units. It would suit an investor that wants to rent out all 3 units, and it would suit a work from home type of business where the business quarters are separate from the rest of the house. Lots of possibilities. Now back to the tour. Let me start by showing you Unit A. Unit A is a self-contained, luxurious 3-bedroom, 3-bath unit. Have a look. So this is Unit B. It's the largest of the units. It's the principal unit. Has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Have a look. So now you're seeing the basement, which is currently connected to Unit B, but it easily converts to a self-contained 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit with 10-foot ceilings and large windows that are all above grade.